Renata.
This is Andreev. We're in Lonestar in Plano. And my name is Renata Go Fence Academy, Louisville. So we're here to interview Andreev, to ask him some questions about fencing, about his history of fencing, how he started to do things. So Andrei, tell us please a little bit about how did it happen, what was the age you started to fence as a fencer?
Thank you. I started when I was 12, and the way I was introduced to fencing was through my friend. And as a kid, we were running around looking for the things to do, trying different sports. So I tried swimming, I tried athletics, gymnastics.
Wow.
My mom wanted me to be a gymnast, and I didn't want to do that. Anyway, one day my friend came and said, well, I found some sport which I really like, so let's try it. So he was already doing it for 6 months, and then I joined later because I was doing other sport, and then I decided to quit that one. That was athletic, and then I joined fencing.
And what fencing, was it in another country, United States?
Oh no, that was fencing in my home country, in Ukraine, where I grew up. So I was 12, so I started fencing in Ukraine.
Okay. When you started to fence, what weapon did you pick? It was just one weapon, 3 weapons?
No, I started immediately with saber. Some people at those ages started with foil and then switched to different weapon. Nobody in my club, they did saber, and that's what I did initially. And actually I liked it, and I'm happy with my choice.
Who was your first coach?
My first coach was actually my friend's father. His name is
Orestatsiv,
Yes.
okay. Ukrainian.
Yes, of course he's Ukrainian. And his son, Oleg Stetsev, he lives in the United States, and he was the coach and the owner of Bergen Fencing Club. And then he was a coach of Princeton, cyber coach in Princeton, and now he's in Florida working.
Nice, very cool. Coach Stetsev, did he follow you through all your ages and years when he was fencing?
Most of it, yes. So the base of the foundation of the fencing, it was on him. Later, I tried different coaches. I was searching for myself, mainly searching myself. So I tried different coaches later on, but I remember him as my coach who taught me fencing.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about how many hours per day did you fence? How many days per week did you fence? How intense was those trainings?
Well, the program would initially start at 3 days per week. So that was beginners, and then as you go and progress and start getting better, it would intensify accordingly. So it would go to 4, 5, 6 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it was serious. Like in the former Soviet Union, that's what it was. That country was the Soviet Union when it was young, and Ukraine was part of it. Everything was serious in a way. It was result oriented. So if you have no talent, or if you have no commitment, or if you're not hardworking, you would not stay in the club. The coach will just kick you out. So that's how it was.
So actually this is a little bit different than here in USA.
Very different.
Very
Yes.
different.
Yeah. So here, I mean, the people are obviously paying themselves, for the kids' classes. The system in the Soviet Union was state-sponsored, and therefore the coaches actually were not that much interested in how many kids they have, but in how good results they show. So therefore, they would not hesitate to kick that kid who is not talented or not hardworking out of the club and look for others.
Okay. How long did it take for you to switch from beginner to more competitive class?
I think it took me something like a year or thereabouts. I can't remember exactly. It was a long time ago. But as I said, the sports is very competitive. So you almost immediately start doing high loads of work, very serious camps, development camps, like fencing camps, obviously, competition camps before the competitions, camp after the competition. So very much result oriented. So if you are not fitting that profile, you would quickly be shown to the door and you would look for other sports. And the coach would choose to work with more talented, promising kids.
So basically, okay, whenever you started from beginner, how many private lessons did you have? And how many lessons did you have since you joined to competitive?
Good question. Not immediately I started having private lessons because we have to prove to the coach that we are worthy of having a private lesson. But how? With hard work, with following instruction during the classes, and showing that you are progressing well and you understand. Then if you're good, then you deserve a private lesson.
Did he evaluate you like an exam, or?
It's not like an exam. They basically show how you're developing, whether you are following instruction well, whether you, when you're fighting, when you show promise. That's what was the criteria.
Before you joined the class, did coach have a conversation with you regarding what to expect, what he expects from you, how long it can take, or anything else, this type of thing?
Generally, they would say if you work hard, you will achieve things.
Okay, so it's not about talent. Do you have talent or not? It's basically hard work.
Hard work is the must. I don't think they would immediately mention about the talent, but they knew that the kid who's not talented has a limitation. Yeah, obviously. I mean, I understand it now. As a kid, maybe I didn't understand it. Maybe I did question that. But they would mean, yes, you cannot achieve much if you don't have two things, talent and working ethics.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking because sometimes you may not have talent, but you can prove and you can achieve something with hard work.
You can, and quite a lot of very good coaches, top coaches would say the hard working means more for them than being talented.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And I would agree with some of it to the point that if you have a talent but you're not hardworking, if you're not developing your product, not working on yourself, you cannot achieve much. But I would also say if you're hardworking but not talented, you have a limitation. You have a ceiling which would be hard for you to overachieve.
Got it. What is your biggest achievement as a fencer?
As a fencer, I was champion of Ukraine. We won that as a team. So I won some junior tournaments. Unfortunately, I stopped fencing quite early because of injuries. And the injuries maybe was the result of very hard practices. So hard practice session, a lot of pressure on your joints, on the muscles. Yeah, it took its toll quite early.
What was your transition from fencer to a coach, and when it happened?
It happens almost at the same time. So when I was still fencing, and when I was already in my late teens and the early 20s, I was already helping the coaches with coaching younger kids. And then I went to study in the Institute of Physical Education and Sport, which is like a college. It's a 4-year course.
In Lviv?
In Lviv, yes, in my city, hometown. Yeah, and obviously they teach you there to become a specialist in physical education and sport with specialty in fencing. So immediately when you're already studying there, you assume that you want to be a coach. So, yeah.
How did you happen to be here in Texas? When did it happen?
I initially visited Texas maybe 10 years ago, something like that.
20?
Actually, no, maybe 8 years ago, yeah. So I arrived to the United States in 2008 from England. And first I was working and living in New York, New Jersey. And that's where I spent most of my coaching life in the United States. And then I wanted to go south for looking for better climate, better weather.
So climate is the main reason.
Yes, I didn't like shoveling the snow in winter.
In Ukraine, a lot of snow.
True, but it doesn't mean every Ukrainian should like snow and be happy with that. So I do like the sunshine, I like the good weather, I like winter when it's short. So yeah, I was looking to move to the south. Jersey, and I think 3 years later I came back and I won a club
From
Cambridge. So
nice. Tell us a little bit about your UK experience, Great Britain experience. I know that you did a lot of achievements there too.
I did some coaching there. So initially when I came to the UK, I didn't speak English really well. So I thought, how could I teach if I could not communicate with the kids properly? So I cannot explain things to them. I cannot express what I feel, or I would have hardship doing so. So I found myself college and studied accountancy there. I completed 3 years of it, and I was working as an accountant in a company, yes. And I liked the people, I liked the company, I didn't like the job. So accountancy is not for me. I found it boring, and I was happy that when I came to visit my friend, who I already mentioned, Oleg Stetsev, in the United States, he already had a club there in New Jersey. So I visited his club, and it sparked my memories from my childhood, my young ages about fencing, and I thought, well, I actually want to do it. So when I came back to the UK, I found their club, and I started working there after work. So I had a day job as an accountant, and I had an evening job as a coach. So, and I liked it. I didn't feel tired. I would be more tired from my day job rather than evening job, because when you like something, when you do something, you don't feel tired doing it. You have satisfaction, you have joy of doing it. So I worked there as a coach on a part-time basis until I eventually came to the United States, and I started working here as a coach from the day one.
Nice. I'm really happy that you can do what you really like, because it sounds like you're fencer by your heart, by your destiny, than doing something just to maintain your living.
It's important to do what you like doing in life. So in this case, you come to work and you have fun, you enjoy it, because work is a very big part of our life. So at least 8 hours a day you spend working. So if you don't like it, or you hate it, well, the life becomes miserable. But if you like it, if you enjoy it, you just feel that you're having fun and you're getting paid for it.
Right. In this club, I assume you have stable program mainly.
Yes.
How many coaches do you have? What's your schedule? How many classes do you have? Beginner, advanced class? How do you structure it?
We have beginners, intermediate, and advanced level classes. We only do saber in our club, and I'm the other coach. My goal is to make the club grow, and the number is wide, so I will be looking to find another coach to help me. But for now, it's just me. And we're open 6 days a week, and the classes I have from Monday to Saturday.
What is your schedule? Meaning how many hours per class do you have for each level of class?
It depends on the program. If it's a beginner program, we have only 2 classes per week. And the class is short, it's 1 hour, 15 minutes. For intermediate level, we have 3 classes per week, and the class is 1 hour, 45 minutes long. And the advanced level, I have 4 classes per week, and the classes are 2 hours and a half long.
So it's like a practice following this open fencing, or how do you structure it?
Again, it depends on the program. So if it's a beginners, they mainly do learning, and they don't do much open fencing because I don't think they're ready for it. So in intermediate class, more emphasis still on learning, and they do free fencing a little bit more. And at the advanced level, we do free fencing every class, and we have a free fencing session on a Saturday.
Okay.
So
everybody come here to Lonestar for open session.
well, what is called free, that means is
Try.
no, it means the coach is not really running the class.
Right.
So they know what to do. They're already advanced level fencers, so they come to the class. They warm up themselves. They get dressed up themselves, and they start fencing. And the coach only following around and giving advice. And just watching the procedures, how it goes.
Do you have any free trials for people to
We
come
do
to?
offer free trials for every level, and usually the beginner's level is where the kids from 7 to 9 years of age. Intermediate level from 8 to 13, and the advanced level from 11 to 18 until they are out of school. We have a couple of adults who joined the club recently, and they love it. The young adults, one is early 20s and the other is early 30s.
Oh, nice. So adults also welcome.
Adults also welcome. Yeah, the only problem with adults, they are the schedule of their life is not really easy, compatible with the schedule of our classes. So they are working, they are somewhere on the business trips. Some of them already have children, young children. So it's harder for them actually to do regular classes.
In this club, what do you suggest to do to become a really high level fencer? How long do you think it will take? How many days per week you have to train? How many hours? How many lessons you have to take additional?
Well, it's all general, so every person is individual. So some kids will start when they're still 6, and of course, if you start early, you can achieve more. Comparing to the same kid who would start at 12 years of age. Yeah? So we're just comparing apples to apples. So some kids will start at 14 and still manage to achieve things. It depends on their background. It depends whether that kid was active and athletic when she or he didn't do fencing, but they did something else. They played game, they did taekwondo, they practiced basketball or other sports. So if they're sporty and athletic, it's easier for them. If the kid was not very active, it will be harder for them because first of all, you have to get your athletic level up to the level when you're ready, and then you start learning specific fencing skills. But generally, if you want to be a good fencer, I would say you're looking at least at 6 to 8 years of investment of your time.
If you're like, let's say you're 10 years old and you're pretty athletic, you haven't done fencing before, how soon you can start showing first results?
You can start showing results pretty early, like you mentioned, 10 years old, right?
Yeah, let's say 10.
So yes, like 10 years old until recently was the youngest age category where kids could compete, 10 and younger. Now they introduced 8 and younger, and more and more competition actually include that age into the schedule. Now still 10 and younger is the most common, and that means the kids in that age category could be anywhere from 10, 9, 8 years of age, and still different level of experience. So some at the age of 10 could be already having 4 years of experience if they started at 6, and some could have just started like a week ago. So again, it's a very broad range of experience there, and the skill as well. So, but you can show, when you're young, you can show a lot of potential, and maybe good results will be following you almost immediately if you are fast. And so you're fast and strong, maybe not having enough skill, you just have fighting spirits. That probably would be enough to win the local tournaments. But as you go further, if you go into the ages 12 and younger, 14 and younger, that requires more skill. But the thing is, the kids should not be focusing on the results. They should be focusing on developing their skills, and the result will follow. And that's the problem maybe with their parents, because parents are a big part of skill of development the kids, because they want to see results, and they want to see that promise almost immediately from the day one. Coach,
It's supposed to be already yesterday.
yes, coach, when my kid is going to be that good, so how long is going to take them? And they're looking at you thinking that, okay, you're going to tell them 6 months will be enough, or 1 year will be enough. That's what they think most of the time. But actually, it's the opposite. So if you work hard on your skill, result will follow.
For competitive students, how many lessons per week do you give them? Or do you suggest?
I would, if I was the one to choose, I would recommend at the beginner level a couple of times per week, maybe short 20-minute lessons. For the intermediate level, I would say 30 minutes lessons, again, at least a couple a week. So two lessons a week. That's my recommendation. So some would take 3 lessons a week. So the more the better. I would not recommend it to do it every day, although you cannot harm it. I know successful fencers, they have lessons every day or almost every day.
Wow,
Yes.
it's a lot of dedication.
Well, yeah, it's dedication because it's not only fun anymore. I mean, you still have fun doing fencing and competing, but it's working on the details, working on the precision. That takes a lot of time.
Right, even like you can give lessons and you can work on the same movement all the time.
You can work, yeah, you can develop that movement not just throughout one lesson. You can spend months developing that movement.
Some people like, oh, you're teaching me the same thing, but it's because you need to work more on this thing to improve it better.
That's true. Like kids start learning math. I don't know what grade they start learning math. Then next year they're still learning math, and the year after they're still learning math. So what does it mean? They're learning the same thing? No, they're not learning the same thing. They're learning the same subject, but they're developing it deeper and deeper. So their knowledge of maths grows from year to year. Same thing about fencing. You learn a skill, you learn a move, and then you keep developing it.
What do you think about fencers who, let's say they did saber before and they switched to APA, or they did foil before they switched to APA? Do you think that fencers should stay with one weapon, or they can like switch transit from one weapon to the other one?
It depends on the goal. If you are a recreational fencer and you just enjoy fencing in general, you can try different weapons. They have different dynamics, different speed, different technique, different way of thinking, I would say. But if you want to be successful, it is very hard to do saber and foil at the same time. First of all, foil and epee are thrusting weapon, and saber is a cutting weapon. So the technique is different. The technique of the footwork and the blade work is totally different. It doesn't mean that there are no people who do it. Mainly, you may find veterans mixing weapons and doing saber and foil and epee, but it's just because veterans usually already passed their prime, and they're not that much result-oriented. They're just having fun. So, but the people who are trying for the fences, who are trying to achieve something, it would be easier to focus on one weapon. Now, mixing foil and epee, it is possible because the technique is similar, but they're still very much different sports.
What's your favorite thing about saber as a style in fencing? Maybe something unique you enjoy the most, or something special about saber?
Well, saber is fast in getting a point. So if you are not the type of person who is willing to spend minutes studying your opponent and then producing one action, if you want everything faster, saber is a good choice. I would say if you are a more patient person and approach the situation every point with caution and you want to prepare it better, so maybe that would suit. These people would probably prefer foil or yeah, saber is fast. That's what I like about saber, because like decision has to be made fast, the action happens fast, and yeah, I think that I like the dynamic of this.
Another question. So you're already a coach, and I'm sure from fencing in the past you have already kind of a schedule, discipline. Do you work out? How do you take care of yourself physically?
Personally.
Personally and as a fencer as well.
Okay, well, I used to go to the gym more regularly. I would like to say that I'm doing it now. No, I'm not, but doing some stuff with the kids, teaching them, giving private lessons, give me a little bit of a workout. Actually, especially when there are a few lessons in a row and I have to move with them, so I feel like I'm sweating a lot, so I'm working hard. But again, it's not, of course, the same exercise as would go to the gym and exercise there. I do some exercise at home. I have a treadmill at home, and which I use it sometimes, occasionally. I try to have a healthy diet, healthy style of living.
I'm asking because it's interesting for me, from more experienced coach, as a new coach, to get some tips what I can do to improve.
As a coach, to improve as a coach?
As an athlete?
As an athlete. Well, I'm not an athlete anymore. So.
You look pretty athletic today.
Thank you. Well, it's not because I'm spending a lot of time in the gym. I'd probably look better if I did. It's just like there is no time, and yeah, getting a bit lazy, so that's also a factor. But my goal is not actually to go and show myself that I'm still very good at competing with anyone. And my goal is now to teach the kids and teach them the skill, teach them understanding of the sport, so they can have joy of doing it.
Okay. And last question probably for today. What would you suggest to our fencers to become really high-level fencer, or yeah, probably this is the right question, specifically for high-level fencers, what would you suggest to them? And also what you would suggest to our coaches to be a good coach?
It's a self-development, like both fencers and coaches need to continue developing themselves, need to be critical with their own actions, decisions, need to be looking for new solutions, new practices. So for the coaches, it's actually very effective if you go and have a camp with other coaches and students. So there is some exchange of ideas happening. So that's a good way for the coaches to develop. For the kids, if they want to be competitive fencers and they want to be good ones, as I mentioned before, don't focus on the results, focus on developing the skill. If you focus on that and you're hardworking and you have a dedication, the result will follow.
And probably you have to be patient with the time, don't expect that to work in 6 months, 1 year.
No, you have to be realistic, yeah, you have to be realistic, but what sport teaches any sport, I think, it teaches you to manage your time more efficiently. You have more things to do during the day. If that's the case, you schedule your day in such a way so you do all of these things that you're planning to do. Mm-hmm. If you have more time on your hands, mainly you end up wasting that time. So any sport teaches you to be more efficient. It teaches you that you can achieve big things, providing that you're working towards your goal. And don't forget to have fun.
Okay. Thank you so much, Andrey.
My pleasure.
This is Andrey Andreev. We're at Lonestar Fencing Club. Andrey, please give a full address.
Yes, it's a Lonestar Fencing Center, and we are based in Plano. The address is 600 Data Drive and Suite 102. We have a sign on our club saying Lonestar Fencing Center. It's not hard to find us.
And this is Renata with Go Fence Academy, and you will find us at Vista Ridge Mall in Louisville. Thank you.
Thank you.